shoulders and things like that. And I don't do that. I'm not like that. I'm not made like that. I'm not born like that. So I find that rather obnoxious when people behave like the world owes them a living and they're better off than anyone else. And it so happens that this guy and the woman was like that in Starbucks, and I couldn't bring you there today. So I'm vlogging over here in this quiet mountains in my car because I could still hear the distance truck ramming their engine at full blast. So I need this quiet time to share with you what exactly happened. Two students, I collect nice fabrics and bring it to the factories for improvisation. Now, fashion is no longer just a fashion. To me, it's an art, it's a science of fashion. The wear, the fabric itself that slides onto your skin, to your body, the way it makes you feel, the way it looks to other people, the crisp, the shine, the reflection on the light. And it's really nice. It's not just putting on a t-shirt, oversized t-shirt and baggy pants and just go out and go get your McDonald's or stuff like that. It's I think dressing yourself up is an art, and it's a science of looking good and being, well, not for others, but for oneself, to improve oneself, to improve one's life. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't bother with that, and not all. There are some people who make an effort, and I really admire them. And anyway, so there was this two students. One student was wearing a very nice white school uniform. It was white shirt, and there's a different kind of fabric. There's polyester cotton and rayon cotton. Now, this brand called Tazamo has got one of the worst fabric. Okay, after the first wash, you can see how flimsy it becomes. It becomes, through time, it becomes yellow or grayish. But the good ones like this, I've been washing it, I've been wearing it, everywhere, and it still look good. Now, the brand Tazamo is really obnoxious. The shorts itself is just not as nice too, but this is not Tazamo. This is really nice. Look at the fabric. Okay, so anyway, so this kid was very nice. I'm very impressed with him because he responded pretty well to my introduction of myself and my business and what I do, and he bothered to listen. And I explained to him, showing a couple of fabric, and he could actually tell the difference between the different kind of fabrics, and I was impressed. I mean, for a young guy of 16 years old, he could see that this fabric is a little too flimsy, too soft, and the other fabric is, too rough, or it's not nice, too thin. And he could partake in my discussion of this. It grew on me, and I said, look, I would like to have your shirt as a sample, and I'd like to show it to my boss, which is right now in town in a golf. And he without any hesitation, he took off his shirt and says, yeah, sure. And I was really touched. So I said, look, give me about half an hour, or you're going to go buy your things? He said, yes, I'm going to go buy my things. I'll meet you back here. So I drove back to the golfing course and met my boss, and I showed him the fabric, and he says, wow, kore tsugushi ne. He says, beautiful. So I said, okay, so what do you think? He says, well, you can get a couple more few pieces of this that will be on our way to quality control. So I went back, he was already there, and I appreciated his move. So I bought him and his friend. Now, his friend is a dick. He is a typical, what we call, backstabber. Now, he didn't like me communicating so well and his friend communicating that well with me. We are on the same page. Now, his friend started to text his own aunt or his aunt. I was thinking it was his aunt. Now, his aunt is a Butch of a Dyke. She's like a Tom Butch, okay? Those women who loves women and they dress up as a man. They cut off their breasts or whatever it is. Now his aunt is like a fucking whore-humping butch. She's a Tom, okay, and she wrapped what looks more like a panties scarf up her head, and it was obnoxious. She was big, fat. She grew sideways. She was vertically challenged, and she's got cankles and thighs as big as a hippopotamus, and she walks like a pregnant yak. So anyway, I'll get to that later on. But let's focus on this. So this young son of a bitch was actually texting his aunt and complaining or smearing my good name even before he knew me about me, and I was buying him lunch. I mean, they add up to 700 over baht. And talking about the hand that feeding the hand that bites you, to bite the hand that feeds you, now you know why I am a misanthrope. I'm a misanthrope because I can feed any cats, any dogs, any squirrels, even the birds, the sparrows. They remember me. One of the sparrows was so wild, they don't even, they come to my hand and they settle on my hand, and they knew I keep feeding them. Do they bite me back? No. The dog sees me again the next time around. A stray dog sees me again the next time around. He starts wagging his tail. But people, I mean, here I was buying you a nice lunch. I mean, it was a salmon fish with eggs and everything. It was a Japanese, salmon donburi. And there he was texting bad messages to his auntie. And eventually the auntie demanded to speak to his friend and told his friend to back off from me, saying that she haven't even spoken to me. She just assumed. She wanted it to happen, okay? People are like that. They are nasty. They wanted it to happen. They don't believe that there are free lunches in this world. They think that people are out to do bad things. And when you do something nice to someone, it doesn't pay to be nice. Because when you are nice to someone, they always think that you're up to your no good. And when you're mean to them, and when you're bad to them, then they say, yeah, that's it. That's the way I deserve it. So they deserve the bad things from bad people, and they admire and they like the bad people. But, they hate the good people because they're afraid of the good people doing good things to them, because they think that we're up to our no good, like them. Because a bad person will always think bad thoughts. And so she told him not to go anywhere, or she wanted to trick me, get him to bring me to my hotel room or whatever it is, and therefore accuse me of being pedophilic or whatever it is. So I said, no, let's go down to the shop, the white uniform shop, and let's do our shopping there. And you can get whatever you want. I'll pay for it. I'll buy you. And your shorts, his friend's shorts was pretty nice. So I said, I'll get you a new one. And, I would like to take this back to my factory for quality control and inspection. And let's see if it passes. So it was just an honest thought. Everything was sincere and everything was nice. Then comes the motherfucking whore-humping cunt. This Butch arrived in a small little BRV, Honda, whatever it is, and then out came her other buffalo brother. Both looks alike. They eat so much they grew sideways, and I mean, not muscled. I mean, if you work out, you eat, your muscle, but they're all jiggling with fats. They were laden with lard. Their entire body was carrying nothing but sacks of lard, rows of fats. And she went up to that boy and gave him a hug, and you can see his apprehension hugging her. She's so obnoxiously awful, ugly, looking. And then he pointed to my direction, and you could see on her face immediately. Now, even before she saw me, there was this, so it was all negative. It was negative energy, even right. She wanted it to happen. At the back of her mind, she wanted this problem with me. Okay, she just wanted to prove something to herself. Clearly, this Butch, this Tom Dyke, has issues in her head. She's suffering from inferiority complex. She knows she's ugly, she's obnoxious, she's got nothing to show. But yet she wants to show because she wants to show her power, she wants to show her capabilities in handling the situation, so she wants something to happen. Other words, she wants to flex her muscles, fats, no muscles. She hasn't got any muscles, she's just got fats. So she came up to my car, I came out, I looked at her diplomatically. She looked at me and she says, oh. She went, oh. And she wanted to take control of the situation. So I explained to her. She says, why don't we just sit down and have coffee at the other side there? Let's drive over to the opposite side. And I said, okay, fine. Let's go to the opposite side. And when we arrived there, that place was not right for me. It was by the main road, you know, the dust and everything. But clearly, you know, being a dirty, filthy woman, you know, with her kind of standard of lifestyle, she didn't mind about that. But I didn't like it because the trucks, the lorries were, you know, the fumes from all of this were permeating or polluting the whole air around me, and I didn't like it. But to her, she's oblivion to it. I endured. Put on my best smile, sat down, turned around and saw that guy next to me. And you know what? My God, I was not even giving anything. I was smiling away sincerely from my heart. I was saying, let's give this a try. You know, open mind, open heart, open your eyes, you know, open your ears. Let's give it a try. Maybe they aren't as bad. You know, I always say, it is not who you are, how you dress, is what you do that defines who you are. And what he did was he was giving me the contemptuous daggers through his eyes. Look, for no apparent reason. He was already judging me even before the words were coming out from my mouth. Now, when someone has that kind of mentality, you know it's not going to go into his numbskull. They have literally shit for brains. They have brains that is smaller than the size of a sparrow. Okay, clearly this guy, his brains is all filled with fats. There's no brains inside. They're all lard inside his skull. And he was really giving me an account, and I was pissed off. Okay, I was really livid. So I looked back at him and I said, what's the look on your face? Did I do something wrong? You got a problem there right now? And immediately she knew. So her other sister or other girlfriend, I think it was a girlfriend, you know, she's a Butch, she's a Dyke, a tomboy, and the other girl, dyed hair, and you know those typical woman with a kind of look of the prostitution on her face. Yeah, and she's like that. So she told him to, well, go to the car, and he went to the car reluctantly. Now she didn't listen to me, she just wanted to talk. So she started blah 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 blah, you know, mindlessly, unrelentlessly ranting away, blabbering, mindlessly blabbering, blah 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 blah, and trying to interrogate me. Now, even before I could say anything, she says, can I have a passport? I said, no. Why would you want that for? We're having a conversation right now. Why are you inspecting me? I am an immigration officer. So what has that got to do with the moment? Isn't it? What logic is there? She demanded vehemently. She says, no, I have every right because you are asking my nephew out. What has getting your nephew out got to do? I didn't ask him out. We met. You just met today? Yeah, I just met today at Starbucks Coffee, and that's the fact. I already said it to you many times over, but you're clearly not listening. And she was just up in her thoughts. She wanted to fight. And I was trying to back off, trying to chill. She continued to confront me with lots of questions and bombarded me with all sorts of allegations and things like that. So I stood up and said, look, this is getting nowhere. All right? This is a one-sided conversation, and you already made up your mind what you want to do. And the other girl was starting to question me again. I said, look, the conversation ends here, okay? And she doesn't understand. I said, are you stupid? I'm speaking Thai to you. พอแล้วจบหยุดแค่นี้ผมไม่อยากคุยแล้ว and she got, you know, like a fucking cunt mouth. Jeez, it's like a cunt spewing all the fluid all over her fucking panties, you know, and she go and a too fucking butch. So I walked off and we traded insults. She called me stupid, and I say, why don't you look in the mirror? I wonder who's the stupid ones, you know. And then the man came. Oi! He, you know, like a mad dog, howling like a mad dog. He charges forward. So he thought I would back off. You're fat, dude. You think what? You can take me on? Yeah, you're bigger than me. You're 90, 100 kilo, 120 kilo. I give it to you. I'm only 60 kilo. But let's say,